Dr. Angie Speaks, and where real conversations meet real expertise. Hello, everyone. Today I have a special treat for you guys. I have Karim with us, and I have heard this man's story, just a brief amount of it, and it caught my attention. So I would love for him to share all of the great things he's doing in the community and why he's doing all of these things in the community. Because, life takes us down different paths, and life be lifing, and
Right.
life just happens to be the way it is. So, Kareem, tell our global audience, because this will be broadcast on 6 different platforms, including radio globally, and podcasts, and YouTube, and Amazon, and just, a lot of different streaming sites. And so, tell our audience who you are and your passion, your why.
All right. Well, thank you very much once again for the opportunity to share and to make my attempt to make a difference in the world. My name is Ahmed Karim Handfield. I was born in Rochester, New York. What I do is I do gospel rap, and I sing as well. I write songs. I write the raps. I also do prison ministry, and I do praise and worship at my church. And when I'm not doing that, I'm working in the warehouse. Okay, so I'm a normal working guy. I have a family, my wife Michelle, and I have 2 sons and a grandbaby.
Oh,
And yeah, my first son, he's 21, and he's already out of the house. But my 15-year-old, he's going to the 10th grade. Um, so the reason I do what I do is I love the fact that we can use our gifts and talents to make a difference, and not only in our community, but it can also transcend and go further out to different places. Um, I know that if we share our gifts and talents, that others can be inspired to lift themselves up, because they can relate to our stories and relate to what I have to say to them. Um, I've been doing prison ministry since 2005, and it has been very rewarding because I've been able to go different places, a lot of places, Oklahoma, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina. I've even been able to take a trip over to Senegal, West Africa. That was a while back, but it was very enlightening, to be able to reach out and see different places and see different things. Goree Island. Um, it's a great experience. But I love one of the rewarding things to me. One of the most rewarding things is I was in a mall, and I saw a young man. He came up to me with his father, and he said, "Hey, I want to tell you, I really appreciate you coming to the Youth Detention Center and sharing your gospel rap with us, because it inspired me to make a change in my life." He said, "Well, Mr. Kareem, right now I'm getting ready to go to college. I graduated from high school. I got out of the place, the detention center, and I have a purpose for my life." And he was smiling. His dad was standing behind us smiling. And that just made me feel like, there's no price tag you could put on that. The course of his life has changed by being obedient to God and using the gift that God has given me. And I consider he's leasing it to me. So I'm going to use it the best way. But I'm so proud of the young man. And there are so many more that are inspired as well. And so that's one of the main reasons I do it, and because God told me to do it, and I want to always walk in His will for my life, so we can make a difference,
how long?
like you.
How long have? Thank you, thank you. How long have you been inspired to rap?
Oh, wow. Well, I wrote my first poem in the 3rd grade. Um, my mom, she played a lot of poetry when I was a kid. Nikki Giovanni, she even played The Last Poets. That was some pretty heavy stuff for a kid, but she played Last Poet, Shel Silverstein poetry book. Um, and she took me to a lot of plays. And now I grew up around people like Elijah Muhammad, Louis Farrakhan, Muhammad Ali. We were in the Nation of Islam at the time. And I grew up seeing those leaders and a lot of people, and they taught us a lot of things about being a strong black man, surviving in America. They had us doing drills and things like of that nature, shouting positive affirmations about our African American existence as men. So
Just tell us
that
when you get done. Tell us a couple of those affirmations.
oh well, one of the affirmations was I'm a strong black man. Another one was I'll take care of my family. The other one was I work hard. I'm not lazy. Uh, I will not get addicted to drugs or alcohol. I mean, they had us saying some serious things like that. And it resonated because I mean it just got into me and it never came out. Those type of things to keep a young man on track and not get messed up into the temptations of the world, allow peer pressure to get you off track. Those things stayed with me. I mean, later in life, I became a Christian, and I could tell you about that later. But yeah,
Yes.
later in life, right, yeah, I became a
So a
Christian.
lot of people think that from people outside looking in, they think that a lot of religion, Christianity, and a lot of religion are cults or they brainwash their people. But it sounded like to me the affirmations was just positivity for your life, you know,
Yes,
general.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, yes, absolutely. And later on in life, I desired a relationship with Jesus Christ, and learning how to, okay, this Islam, this is the religion, but I want a relationship with my heavenly Father, and I started doing a comparison. So a lot of people say, well, how in the world did you go from being Muslim to Christian? Because that's not normal, but it does happen. And I start thinking about, well, what did Jesus do? I mean, he walked on water, he died, he rose from the dead, and there are many witnesses who can acknowledge that. Even atheists have tried to prove it wrong, but they, based upon the research and facts and factual information, they had to acknowledge that, okay, well, yeah, this is not some nonsense. This is serious things that actually did happen. And I compared it to what the other religion, well, what the religion was offering in Islam, what Muhammad did. And I said, well, I'm looking at what Jesus did and what Muhammad did. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go with what Jesus did because that didn't have any limits. It didn't have any limitations. People were given life instead of life being taken away from them. So that's how I made my decision to convert from being a Muslim to receiving Jesus as Lord and Savior. So, but that has been a blessing to me.
Nice. Back up a little bit. Tell us about your upbringing. Where did you grow up? Your childhood? Because a lot of people, like including me, um, we are a product of our upbringing. So go back a little and tell us some of that.
Okay, so when I was a kid, my mom moved from Rochester, New York, and left my dad because they were both singers and songwriters. But
Uh,
my mom left my dad.
that
Right,
got that talent from.
right, right. Very great. We're very grateful for it. And so my mom moved to Chicago, joined the Nation of. She was already in the Nation of Islam, and then we moved to Florida. Now that's where my mom got off track. She got addicted to drugs. Now when she passed away, she finished strong as a believer in Christ, and she was clean and sober, and it was just she died from cancer.
Mm,
But she had a good relationship with God at the end of her life, and she was on track, and that was one of the most important things. Of course, I hated to lose her, but prior to that, after leaving Chicago, she had gotten off track and married a drug dealer.
mm,
Now, my stepdad was a drug dealer. I didn't know that he was even dealing drugs. I didn't know what that was all about. All I know is that he was kind to us. We never got harmed. He made sure we had everything we needed and certain things we wanted. Um, Took good care of us, you know. But that relationship dissolved, and my mom moved to Atlanta. So
Mm.
her drug addiction got pretty bad. So we were living with different people, and there were times that she'd disappear, and I'd be a kid just there, and someone would say, "Well, hey, I can't take care of you, so you got to go." So they take me to wherever she was, or they find a place for me to stay, or my high school counselor would find a place for me to stay. United Way helped me along the way to have a place uh, to graduate from high school, go to summer school, get out, but I had a place to live in that time. Um, but yeah, there were times when I got depressed. There were times when kids would want me to come and do stuff with them, but I was more of a loner, and I knew not to get involved in certain things based upon what I had been taught as a young kid.
Right.
Yeah, so I had that foundation, fortunately, to abstain from getting caught up in selling drugs or smoking or drinking. I said, well, I know not to do that.
Right.
I'm gonna get. I got on my knees and I prayed the best way that I knew how.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but one thing that kept me going is music. You
Yeah.
know, I had a talent to rap, and my thing wasn't, well, how can I steal or do something stupid like that? No, how can I win the next talent show? How can I win the next contest?
Yes.
Um, and so that music helped keep me out of trouble.
Yeah.
Even when I got out of high school and I was able to work, for work and have a job, I had hit rock bottom. I was just trying to survive. So I got on the street. I had a boom box and a microphone, and I sang oldies but goodies
Now
that I
tell
had learned
people
off
what
the.
a boombox is because they
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
never heard that term, a boombox. Explain to our global listeners what a
Oh
boombox.
yeah, yeah, because I'm old school myself. So
Yeah.
um it's a radio. It has a tape player, cassette player that they don't even see them anymore unless it's an antique or maybe a museum. But anyway, big radio and microphone, and I would sing all these oldies but goodie songs, Luther Vandross. I'd sing some of the old stuff like that, some of the Motown stuff, and then I beatbox, right? So when I was in elementary school, I got in trouble.
Yeah.
I got in trouble for beatboxing because I would make noises with my mouth. I didn't know that it wasn't
Yeah.
called beatboxing then.
Yeah. Give them an example. Do it.
Oh
Do it.
yeah, sure.
Do it. Do it.
Okay, okay. If I can rock it like this. Break it all down. Yeah, stuff like that.
It's basically making music with your mouth.
Yeah, making music with your mouth. You
Yeah.
know, you have groups like what is the name of this group? Is real popular. Ste- uh, what is it? It's not Stetsasonic. It's a group. They do music with their mouth, and they've been around the world making music like that. But yeah, it actually I was beatboxing, and people filled up my can with money over in Little Five Points in the Atlanta area,
Yeah.
and I had enough money to get a MARTA card, some food, and I was able to get a job that same week,
Nah.
and I've been working ever since, and then that's how I was able to get on my feet. But at the same time, I was still able to go and do performances here and there. In high school, I would go and imitate Bobby McFerrin. Now, Bobby McFerrin, a jazz artist, a vocal artist, he did the same type of thing, beatboxing, but making music at the same time with his mouth. And so I imitated him for a guy, Gary Harrison Dance Company. He was a teacher at the School of the Arts, North Atlanta. They called it Northside High School at the time, but Northside School of the Arts. But now they call it North Atlanta. And So I did that for him, and I was able to make some money there. So yeah, it's been taking me a lot of different places, and it's been helping me to survive, you know. So it's been pretty good.
Okay, okay. So what about teenage years? Like how old were you when you decided to take this seriously? Were you a teenager back then?
Yes, I was a teenager. Say I was about 14 when I started because I heard the Human Beatbox on the radio with the Fat Boys, old school artists. Um, And I heard them and I said, hey, that sounds like what I used to do in the third grade when I drove my teacher crazy, you know. And that's when I started doing those talent shows, and I realized it was something that people like because I keep winning, and people would, you know, spread my name around the city, and I would say, okay, well, you know, I'll just keep on going. I made my first record in 1988. I was part of a rap group called NRG. It didn't blow up, you know, but we did get on the radio a couple of times in the Atlanta area. Um, I got a chance to meet a lot of people. I met the Fat Boys. I met Run DMC. I met Easy E also. I opened up for um, Heavy D. Now these are all artists young people probably don't even
Yeah,
know about, but maybe the older people
they're
would.
icons. They're what music is about, man. Their music is timeless. Their music is classics.
Yeah, I'm grateful to have met some of these people, and just seeing that they never gave up on their dream, it made me not want to give up on mine. But there was an opportunity that I was given to do some rap that didn't reflect who I am or what I believe in.
Mm.
Um, I believed in putting out positive music. Not, I didn't want to put any rapping about killing each other and
Right.
and smoking dope and sexing and getting my freak on. It wasn't me, you know. That's not how I live my life. So I said, if I'm gonna rap about something, I'm gonna rap about what is really me, how I live my life, and what I know is the right path, you know, for me. And I wanted for young people to look at rap in a different light. Hey, let's try something positive instead of this killing. I don't want my little brothers to get shot. You know, I don't want my little sisters to get mistreated and disrespected. And of course, that was infused in me at a young age as well. So I said, well, I'm just going to do it opposite. I don't care how much they're offering. I'm not taking that because I didn't want to sell my soul just for a few pennies, you know? Um, so
The
I got a chance. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
rapping with purpose. Also, you mentioned that you met a lot of people along the way. Who has given you some advice that you still follow?
Oh my goodness. I would say my godmother and my godfather. Really, you know, it takes a community to raise a child. They always taught me to always bring light to the world instead of darkness.
Mm,
That's one of the things, and it said hard work is not wasted. You know, when you put forth effort, you can go places. You can do the things that you dreamed of doing. Um, there have been times when I would get doubtful. I even attempted suicide, you know, because the depression of my mom being on drugs and not knowing where she was, and um, two suicide attempts. When I realized that this wasn't working, I said, I need to keep living. I need to stop this foolishness and go ahead and keep on rapping, keep living, because apparently there's a purpose for my life and I need to stay here and keep doing it. So God gave me inspiration on that. Um, and the other artists, it was like a passerby type thing. I didn't really get only thing I got from the other artists was they never gave up on their dream.
right.
And that's the main one of the main things I learned from all the different artists that I did meet. Um, yeah, so that's where that inspiration came from. And I different prison ministries that I've worked with. Fly Right. This is one of the ministries I work with. Fly Right Inc. We go into prisons in different parts of the southeast, as well as Bill Glass Behind the Walls. That's out of Texas, Duncanville, Texas. Bill Glass was a football player for the Cleveland Browns, and he was influential. He met Billy Graham, and he decided to go into prisons himself and start, doing talking to guys and encouraging them to receive Christ. And a friend of mine connected me to that ministry, and I got a chance to meet Bill Glass and open up for him on some of the prison yards and meet a lot of other inspirational people who've been involved with those types of ministries. And so we will go into a prison, and they will get people like myself. If you had a talent or a gift, and I still do it, a talent and a gift, and you share that gift on a microphone, or you share your testimony of how some guys were in prison for famous crimes, and then they gave their life to Jesus. So when they would talk to the inmates, they get on a microphone, the guys would want to come out of the jail cells and say, okay, yeah, they're having a program today. I was gonna stay in my room, my cell, but hey, I want to come out here what this guy's talking about. It sounds like he's a real down to earth person, or this lady sound like she has some serious challenges that I can relate to. And
Yeah.
they call us platform guests. So we'll go in and we'll get on that microphone. I do my beatbox rap, give my testimony, and the guys will come out, and then the team of a whole team of believers, we be spread out among the audience.
Mhm.
And then there will be a time I say, hey, if you enjoyed what you heard today, and you would like to ask some questions, or just get into more of what we're talking about, hey, let's create some groups. And they'd be spread out all around the whole prison yard, and they would raise their hands, and they come over, and then we get in little groups. And when it's all said and done, we'd have a tally of how many people got saved, how many people rededicated, how many people want to
Mhm.
give their life to God and want to make a difference. And they'd actually tally up and send us a text and say, this is what happened. This how many people did this, how many people did that, and to see that we made a difference in that way, it's recorded on earth and it's recorded in heaven. So that's been a blessing. So I still do it with Fly Right Ministry right now, but I still work with other ministries as needed, when they call upon me. So it's a blessing.
Collaboration, collaboration. It makes the
Yeah.
yes. I love it.
No, yeah,
So
no person is an island.
that's right. That's right. So what are some of the current projects that you are working on right now?
Well, I did my first book.
Yeah.
It's on Amazon. Yeah, Amazon.com. It's The Life of a Gospel Rapper, and it's available for purchase there. Also, I have a YouTube page, YouTube channel, Kareem. It's Kareem Handfield, and I have a video called "Not About Me," and that's also on YouTube. And my music is on several different platforms. Spotify, it's on Pandora. When you type in Kareem for Good Life, just the way it sounds, Kareem for Good Life, you'll pull up one of my albums, and then a EP, a single with two songs on it. And that has some singing and then some rapping, rapping about stuff like pornographic video addiction, um, fornication, dads being fathers needing to be better fathers. And then there's inspirational songs like Walk With Me. Um, and then so there's some singing, some rapping, and that's what's on available. It's also on Apple Music and iHeartRadio, iTunes, Tencent, Amazon. So it's on many different platforms now.
You have inspired me. I want to be on a song with you.
Okay, okay, we have to figure that out, work that out, work it out. But yeah, I really greatly appreciate you having me on. Also, there's Forgiven Ministries in North Carolina by Scotty Barnes and Jack Barnes. They have that ministry there. And Red Clay Ministries with Mr. Gordon McFarland. They have a ministry that goes around in Georgia.
Nice.
and does different prisons there. Um, so yeah, that's basically what's happening now. And of course, I'm available for uh, events and things of that nature, and I can share that information whenever you say.
Oh,
But yeah, that's
go ahead. No, share what's in your heart. It's fine.
yes. Uh, well, my email is Kareem for Good Life. That's KARIMFOR Good Life GOODLIFE at yahoo.com. That's my email. So if anybody wants to reach out to me, I'll be checking my emails and I can reach back out to you. I do churches, community events, um, of course, prisons, youth detention centers, anything like that. Even if it's just a block party, I'm willing to come because I believe the sharing the message with people right where they are and get a chance opportunity to meet people face to face, even pray with them if they need prayer. I think that's important. Um, I see how dark our world is right now, and I'm not gonna sit back and do nothing about it, you know.
Right.
So we'll just keep on trudging on until we can't do it anymore.
That's right. That's one of my sayings is do as much as you can while you can.
While you still can.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, that's important. That's important. So my home church is a Fayette Family Church. Uh, Pastor Jerry Young and the First Lady Susan Young. We just did a prayer drive, a drive-by prayer thing. We had our signs out. It was all the guys in the men's ministry. We came out and we had the signs out on the street and waved. And some people pulled in and they wanted prayer. So that was a very fun thing to do. But also people who are in need. It's nice to know that there's others out there who care enough to say, "Hey, I'm actually willing to pray with you." So Fayette Family Church is on Highway 54 of Fayetteville, Georgia. So, and my wife Michelle and I sing praise and worship on there. There's several videos. They have a whole channel. Fayette Family Church has a YouTube channel, and you'll see the whole service, good sermons and praise and worship, and people giving their life to God. So it's a blessing to be used by Him and to make a difference.
Absolutely. So tell us about your how did you meet your wife? How long have you guys been together?
And it's been 18 years now.
Ah,
Yes, ma'am. This is we met at church. It was a church group at World Changers at the time in College Park, and they had a singles ministry. So I met her there, and I introduced myself, and she accepted me as I was at the time, and so we got to know each other, and we took our time, and we got married, and we had our first. Well, I already had a child. I had already had my firstborn son, but my youngest son, uh, he was born in 2010, and now he's going to the 10th grade. Yeah, he's going to 10th grade. He's an A student. Um, but yeah, when I met my wife, I realized that she's a poet. You know, she writes poems and she sings. She's been singing since she was little. And so I said, hey, this is a good thing in common. And we did premarital counseling as well.
that
Premarital counseling.
a lot of people do not do that. That is so important.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Because if we thought about it, say if we build our marriage on a foundation of concrete and something solid, then the chances of us staying together is far longer than just building it on fly by night, or not having a strong foundation. So that was our decision, and God has rewarded us as a result of that. So, very grateful, very grateful to have my
Nice, nice, nice. Absolutely. I'm sure it's not just you who's doing the ministries by yourself. So do you have other church members or other group members or a team or I'm sure there's others that work with you. So do you have a team that works with you, other people from your church maybe, or other members that goes with you to the ministry?
Yeah, well, actually, the ministry, one of them, Fly, all of them work the same way. Fly Right is it's there's a Jim Harris is in charge of Fly Right, um, and there is there's a whole group of us that work together. Now, his assistant, Geraldine, Miss Geraldine, she helps him coordinate and goes to the meetings and with the prison executives. I mean, the wardens and then they set up these meetings with them so they could see how we can go ahead and go get into these different places. And if it weren't for them, I mean, this that ministry wouldn't be rolling at all. But uh, they go in, and then once we get an event, let's get an event set up. You have volunteers, people who support the ministry, and they spend their own money to drive to South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida, wherever it may be in the Southeast, Texas, wherever it may be. And they'll spend their own money on hotel rooms, buy their own food, but they'll come and we'll gather together the night before,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll have dinner and we'll talk and we'll pray, and then the next morning we'll go out and we'll head out to the prisons that we go into, and we'll meet in the parking lot. We go through the security checks. Then we set up the sound. We help set the sound up. We'll do it all together, and then when the guys come out, that's how we go out as a team. So nobody's going out by themselves. So yeah, a team goes in at every event, a team goes in together, maybe 30, 40 people, sometimes 50. It depends, who's able to make it. But they drive from different parts of the Southeast, or some of them drive further north down, just to participate. So yeah, it's always a team effort.
Nice. That is wonderful.
Yes. And so, yeah, and then you get to hear other people's testimonies and their stories, and you get to people to pray with you for if you're feeling like you need prayer. Some of your teammates are right there to pray with you in between programs. We do like about two programs per time we go in, and then sometimes we go pod to pod. Different places, different parts of the jail, even lockdown where people who are can't be around others. We'll
Mm.
go door to door and talk to them individually. And so we don't like to leave anybody out. So we do the best we can with what opportunities we're provided with. So
That's good. That's really good. You know, a lot of people is afraid to go into prisons just because of things they've seen on television or the things they've heard. Have you had any incidences, any attacks, any, thing happen while you were there?
well, sometimes there are people who are influenced by demonic spirits, and they'll try to be disruptive, and try to interfere with the program. But once they have security there, there's always security there. They'll escort them out, um, or and then later we'll get a chance to pray for them, or not. It all depends on how it goes. I remember I used to work in a county jail, and there were guys that act up and try to interrupt certain things, but you just deal with it the way you're trained to deal with when it comes to corrections. Um, you just make sure that they're removed from that situation so other people can get something good out of what needs to be, listened to and everything like that. So yeah, that was another thing. I did work in a county jail for 8 years and 9 months, and that was quite an experience. It prepared me for prison ministry prior to.
Oh.
Yeah, it prepared me.
Mm. So God had a plan for your life before you even knew it.
Right, right. When my friend at church, he said, well, he asked, it was the first time I went to a male prison, Jackson prison in Jackson, Georgia. And he said, I like your rap here. This will go good because the lyrics are all word based, they're biblically sound. I want you to share this at when we go to the men's night, where we talk to the guys and they had like about two hundred guys come in and they had a seat and I went and did the gospel rap for them and shared my testimony a little. And then the minister got up and they shared the word with them. And then he introduced me to the person that was involved with Bill Glass Behind the Walls out of Texas, and and that's what opened the door for the first prison ministry I worked with. Now, prior to that, my godmother took me when I was a teenager doing positive rap at the time. She took me to a youth detention center, and I got my first chance to rap with some kids who couldn't leave on at their own will in youth detention center there. So I was in Atlanta, Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
and that was actually my first experience with something of that nature. But I never forgot it. Now, Jenny Trotter was she passed a few years ago from cancer, but she made a big difference. The Holistic Stress Control Institute is still an organization that does after school programs, and it reaches out to youth, and it's in Atlanta, Georgia, and it's major in the community, and people love the results they get with the kids. The kids know that somebody cares. So she left behind a legacy. And my godfather, Jim Trotter, he had a cleaning business. So I worked with him when I was a kid trying to make it. They took me in when I didn't have a place to stay. So, I'm really grateful a lot to God, a lot to my godparents. Yeah.
Yes, yes. You owe a lot to your godparents. I owe a lot to my grandparents. Um,
No.
yes. But I would love to play some of your music on the radio station and our different platforms. Do we need to get a signed waiver to play your music or anything of that nature?
No, you don't. No, because I have the rights to my own music. Yeah. So, um, it's a it's available. It's free. I mean, I could send you a. I don't know. I can't send you a CD. I can send you a CD, but who plays CDs anymore? People. I guess I'd have to send you a music file. So you just
Yeah,
let me know, and we can work that out.
yes, please do.
We
And
can work that out.
I would love to have you back. And if you can get some of your people to come on, people that you do ministry with, or your pastor or any of your church members or any of your team members, I would love for you guys to come back and talk more about your mission and what you're doing on a broader scale, because I'm sure that's not all that you guys do. Um, do you
Amen.
have, as we wrap up, do you have anything else you would like to add? And I would love to hear a few bars from your um, gospel rap. And I'm sure
Okay.
our audience would love that too. So, whatever you would like to close us out with, that would be amazing. And yes, I do want your music so we can play it on the radio. And this will be in rotation. Your music could be in rotation worldwide, on our platform. So,
Oh, praise God. That's an awesome opportunity. But yeah, I do have something. A lot of people are struggling with believing that God will help them right now. There's a lot going on as we watch the news. It's just crazy, and there's some people are losing their faith, and some people are holding on to dear life. So it's one of the raps in this book. It's called "Keep Your Faith." Yeah, it's on page 15, and I'm gonna share the first verse of that with you all. Okay,
okay.
so it's called "Keep Your Faith," and it goes like this: No more worry, no more fears. Who has kept you all these years? Get on your knees and face and keep your faith. Worry, fear, doubt, disbelief is the welcome mat for Satan. He's the infamous thief. He's the author of lack and insufficiency to abundant life. Now he's the enemy. Numerous bills, numerous debts, numerous spouse checks, numerous telephone threats. Too many ulcers, migraine headaches, too much fear, too much drama for too many years, too much unbelief, too many confessions of not being worthy, too much doubt, too much Too much worry, too much lack of understanding of the fact that God's the master of our financial planning. Too much worry about your children. Are they gonna come home alive or is somebody gonna kill them? Too much worry about jobs. Will I get robbed? Is somebody gonna carjack my car? Now hold up, y'all, because God's still on the throne. He'll never leave us or forsake us. We're never left alone. Dropping the ball is not allowed because God gives all grace. Oh, you better keep your faith. Yeah. So that's one of the pieces that God has given me. So hopefully I hope that inspires people to hold on. You know,
Hold on.
hold on, hold on. God is good, and keep your faith. Don't give up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This has been a very inspirational, very inspiring, very uplifting hour. And you keep pushing forward. I am positive there are days that it's harder than others. I am positive that there are days when it seems like, why am I doing this? Because I have some of those days myself. Am I making a difference? Am I touching lives? Am I doing what God wants me to do? Am I on the right path? But just know that you are. Keep pushing, keep moving forward, keep your head up. It is tough at times, and sometimes we question ourselves, but just know that from the first day I heard you speak at the conference, I just knew that you were doing something big. I know that there's going to be doors that will open up for you, big doors. So just keep moving, keep pushing.
I stand in agreement with you, and I really appreciate your time and give me an opportunity to share. So I really
Yes,
appreciate that.
absolutely, absolutely. Blessings to you, and yes, send me the music. Let's get it out to the world. And we have
Yeah.
listeners in we have listeners in Japan, all of the Caribbean, Africa. You never know whose lives you are going to touch. So let's keep pushing forward.
Yes, ma'am. Certainly, and thank you so much. I appreciate it. I wish you the best as well with all of your endeavors. Thank you.
Have a fabulous day. Thank you.
You too.
That's a wrap on today's episode of Dr. Angie Speaks. If this conversation moved you, challenged you, or made you think, share it with someone who needs